What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Got some Turning Tides DLC date hype. So it looks like we're going to be getting the second half of Turning Tides DLC out on January 30th. And DICE is going to do it their usual way by giving out the PC side first at 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, then PS4 at 2 a.m., and then Xbox at 4 a.m. So definitely hyped to finally see a specific date on this and to see them going to be able to bring it out by the end of the month. Been definitely looking forward to this as we have these two new maps, Zeebrugge and Helgoland Bight, and these maps are basically going to be, at least from the Helgoland Bight's perspective, the pinnacle of naval warfare that we've yet to be seen on Battlefield 1. So we had maps like Cape Helles, which is what I'm on today, giving us a little bit of a touch on what that would look like, but not quite the ultimate naval warfare that we have been looking to experience on the battlefield. So again, definitely hyped to experience these two maps, as I've already had gotten a chance to get a little bit of a taste of what they would be like, as we've had a lot of activity on the CTE lately. So it's good to get back onto the base version of the game, as you see me rolling up here by F, as fortunately I got myself shot from behind as I was laying down smoke, and ironically I end up being the one that gets killed there. So props to my teammate there, be able to res me, as I'm going to post up here by F, trying to avoid, I think, what I see a scout class across the map, and don't want to get shot on the other side as well. So, but like I was saying, had a chance to experience the two new maps that will be coming out on Tuesday, and had a good look at them, as they were pretty well textured as they were already in the CT. Of course, it's not the final product, but it wasn't exactly like the white box testing where we don't see really any texturing done on the maps, as we just saw recently on some of my Apocalypse DLC videos. So definitely had a good idea of what we'll be looking at, and definitely hyped, especially for Helgoland Bight, as I was saying, that is definitely a heavily naval favored map and something we've yet to see on Turning Tide. So it definitely will be interesting to watch how that evolves in the meta on Battlefield 1, what people like to use, what people have different tactics, and just the all-around scope of gameplay that always gets me excited when these new maps show up. So gonna run down over here by E and post up and leave some dynamite here, as the infantry elite class about to drop over here at the 3-minute 2-second mark. And if you happen to had a chance to go check out my infantry elite class nerfed video, you probably know by now that RIP the infantry elite class, as it is very likely you're going to be seeing a nerf coming out for this class when Turning Tides drops. So definitely going to enjoy over the weekend the last of using the infantry elite class as it is right now, because you will be seeing most likely a pretty substantial nerf when it comes to the main weapon of this class. So definitely going to want to just enjoy it as it is right now, because things are definitely going to change. It's going to be definitely a little bit of a different play style when it comes to this elite class. So I'm going to drop the flare over there by D, and hopefully come up and flank around by the side, trying to make sure I don't get caught out in the open here, so I don't get it shot from enemy players, as of course we all know by now the infantry elite class is not exactly the most heavily armored vehicle. And just seeing that flame trooper over there kind of made me think a little bit that when I ever see elite classes that have spawned into the map, and if I'm already in the elite class, especially the infantry elite class, I like to actually lay my spawn beacon right next to that elite class spawn, so I can get my teammate to hopefully spawn in that beacon and go quickly pick up the kit. So definitely will be interesting to see how this plays out, though, in regards to the new Turning Tides maps. I have seen videos already of the actual flare gun doing some pretty significant damage on things like destroyers and the actual Dreadnought Behemoth itself. So it's definitely still a very solid weapon that you can use against those vehicles. Not quite the Tank Hunter precision, as you can easily move your vessel out of the artillery strike radius, but you may catch a couple people off guard a little bit, and you might actually be able to pull off a couple solid kills with that flare gun. So definitely want to make sure that you check out my video if you haven't already about how to accurately use this flare gun, as I've kind of learned recently how to position it better, because I had a lot of problems of undershooting it or overshooting it. So yeah, if you definitely haven't checked that out, you're going to want to check that out now, especially if this and when this nerf takes place. You're definitely going to want to utilize as much of your gadgets as you can. So I'm going to roll up here to the side. I think there's some players that are flanking down towards C, and I want to make sure to take those guys out. And I think I'm going to go push all the way down towards to A now. So feel free to let me know down in the comments below what you guys are most hyped about in these 2 new maps coming out for Turning Tides. Whether you're just looking forward to the maps, or there are specific vehicles you're looking to play with, everything from the actual destroyers or dreadnoughts versus dreadnoughts battles that we'll be experiencing, or even the new C-class airship that we've yet to see on the battlefield. So definitely be interested to see how that plays out, as there was a lot of criticism in regards to that airship being just really weak and not really useful on the battlefield. So it'll be very interesting how DICE approaches this and what they do in regards to that vehicle. If they're going to give it a armored buff, if they're going to increase maybe the firepower on the actual vessel itself. But regardless of what they do, definitely hyped to experience this. I mean, K-Pelvis gave us a little bit of what naval warfare could be like, but it was very minuscule. So to see them now, really, I mean, we have 2 destroyers for each team on the map, and that's not including your dreadnought behemoths that will spawn in at the very beginning of the game. So I mean, it's going to be overwhelming regardless of what is balanced out. It's definitely just the concept of it, I think, is great. So very happy to see DICE going down that direction for us, and even adjusting things and making sure that they were going to give us a behemoth versus behemoth battle. So, but now I'm rolling over here by B, hopefully laying that artillery strike in a well enough spot to prevent the enemy players to try to recap B. But for the most part, this game was a pretty solid game. Actually kind of surprising on K-Pelvis, as I haven't really had very high kill games on this map. I think I go 48 and 1.5 as basically died at the very start of the game. I mean, I do end up dying here later, but I mean, I almost got to the 50 kill mark. I don't know how many kill games I had where I was up to that spot. I mean, usually on K-Pelvis, the games were for the most part, ending rather quickly. So yeah, K-Pelvis is kind of interesting map overall, just how it plays out. You get a lot of games where you either dominate the enemy team or the teammate kind of dominates you. I think there were still probably some people kind of having a hard time maybe getting off of the map and going and capping bases. I have yet to still really experience much of that problem. As you saw me at the very beginning of the game, kind of push over there to the side. And I've noticed just on this map, if I get right into attack boat instant at the very start of the game, usually it's very hard for people to get really posted up and take me out with maybe AT rocket gun or whether other type of cannon or attack airplane that they want to use. So usually it's pretty difficult. From what I've experienced, at least, I haven't really been held down too much, as again, I instantly push into that attack boat as quick as I can and try to again push all the way over there towards E. As you even saw at the very beginning of the game, they were 2 of them actually got into attack boats, but I mean, trying to turn these attack boats around is very difficult. And once you make it on land, even though I did get myself shot from the back, you could lay down some smoke and hopefully that'll give your teammates cover and get you guys out of that home spawn. So again, wrapped all the way back around, back now towards to F. Trying to lay down fire over there to my right, because that's where they're going to be spawning at. I think I get a good shot there. Yeah, definitely not going to be seeing that happen, though, much often after this nerf. Yeah, definitely think things are going to be pretty interesting. So I'm kind of getting myself braced for that. But usually how I kind of see when things are nerfed or buffed, or just kind of how the balancing act of games go, I kind of see them as seasons. So things are kind of always being changed, and we're seeing tweaks here and there. And I just kind of look at it as like a season that you had where the infantry elite class played like this, and now we're going to be walking into a new season where it's going to play a bit of a different way. And regardless of if I think it's, you know, a good move or a bad move, it's just a way for me to adapt and kind of look at the game from a new outlook. So it's usually my approach when it comes to changes in the game. I just kind of, again, see things as seasons, and I know we had our time to kind of experience the, you know, Infantry Elite class as it is right now, and now we'll get a chance to experience it in definitely a new light, to say the least. So I may mention this before, if I get 100 kills on this Elite class after the nerf, I'm quitting Battlefield 1. I'm done. I am moving on to Battlefield 2018. So be on the lookout for me if I get 100-0 with this Elite class post nerf, because that would be absolutely insane. So most likely going to see a lot of actual tank hunter gameplay come up here in the future. So the odds of that happening to be very slim, but hey, you never know, right? Things could get crazy, and I'll tell you what, if I get it with the Elite class, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. But finishing up that Scout class, making sure to clear everything over here by G so that we're good here. Seems like we're having a hard time securing the capture zones after we cap them, as you see them back over there by F. I'm gonna lay a artillery strike down, and I think there's maybe like 1 or 2 players on there. I've seen a lot lately, actually. Some players, I mean, I think they're trying to survive and trying to learn how to live in the airstrike. I would be curious if you can actually survive it as a normal infantry player. So feel free to let me know this down in the comments below if you've been able to survive it before, or if, you know, you've seen people be able to survive it on a consistent basis. You know, again, I'm not counting you being maybe undercover or anything like that. I mean, I think I would count if someone is maybe dropping you some health. So if you know, possibly find yourself being able to survive it easier if you're a medic class and you're dropping like a health crate, you know, I would consider that, you know, survivable, and it's something that would be kind of interesting to know if that is the case. And again, let me know down in the comments below, because normally I try to stay away completely from the artillery strike, whether if I'm shooting it or it's being shot up against me. I just completely avoid it altogether. So again, would be an interesting fact to know. So having a hard time shooting that Scout class that was laying down there. I don't know what it is, but that's like my kryptonite. If you're like laying down and you're you know, not too far away, I don't know what it is, but I can't blast you. And they're doing a pretty solid job contesting F over here, and I'm trying to do everything I can. I'm trying to lay the artillery strike in another spot, hopefully to deter them where their spawn's going to be at. But they're going to get a couple guys that are going to swing all the way around and place themselves back on the flag, and they're able to, fortunately, I think he takes out my teammate right there towards to my left. So yeah, they drop a flare right on me, but fortunately I have some smoke, so I'm going to finish off that one player right there. And I'm going to drop some smoke down to get myself off from being spotted. But I'm going to run up here a couple times and not quite finish my shots on the enemy player, which is another situation that makes me nervous off of when we get this post nerf to the Infantry Elite class. As you see me there twice going in the high 80s and high 90s. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting when that nerf happens, how situations like that are going to take place. But fortunately, my teammates able just to kind of roll around and kind of finish off the, you know, few bullets that it needed to take out those enemy players. So definitely good there, and we've basically taken pretty good control on the back half of the map, and now we're going to push back down towards C or B, and kind of trying to figure out which one is going to take them longer to cap, as that's going to be the place that I want to lay my flare at, as it's kind of pointless to lay your flare on a territory that they just capped, because they have no incentive to stay on that territory, so they end up just moving off of it and avoiding the artillery strike altogether. So always trying to find ways to maximize this gadget, especially after what we're going to be experiencing here in the patch coming up for us this month. So I definitely want to utilize my gadgets as best as I can, and you know, do whatever it takes to, you know, even weaken them. Like right now, I'm going to weaken a few of the guys, which definitely helps, and you know, just, you know, allows, even if you do have a nerfed Martini Henry grenade launcher, you'll still be able to you know, finish someone off if they're, you know, weak by, you know, even, you know, 50 points. So it definitely helps. Whatever little bit of help you can you know, give yourself, you definitely want to take advantage of that. So I'm gonna roll back over here, try to watch where their spawn is. That could be right there in front of me, but I think a guy comes up behind us as well too. But I'm hoping my teammates will finish them off, as I'm gonna kind of focus right up here in front of us, where again this is where their spawn is at if they're on the defending side on this map. So again, we were able to hold them off, but what do you know, the back over there capping F on us again, probably just spawning in their boats, and they're just continually just going back and recapping F over and over again. So probably could have just stayed over there by the attack boats over there by F, and probably could have laid down a bunch of fire. But there's probably only like 1 or 2 players that are doing that over and over again, so it's not really anything I'm going to be too concerned about. So I'm going to go all the way over down here to A, save my teammate there. Hopefully he's still alive so we can cap this quicker. And I was hoping that we have my destroyer around over here, maybe lay down a dreadnought barrage and give us a little bit more cover. But for the most part, we're able to cap this quick, and they were not able to respawn on this territory. And I'm going to come back over here towards the sea. Again, this is the timing that I like using to drop my flare down when I know it's going to do damage on the flag while they're capping it, and it's not at the very end of them capping it where they can just get off of the flag really quick. So now they're going to be a little bit of trouble right there, even though it's only 1 player. And that was all I was able to really get on that part of the flag. Now I'm going to throw a solid shot right there on that structure. So yeah, definitely see a lot of scout classes always on that area. And usually when I'm shooting those shots, I don't hit them. And not to sound like a broken record here, but yes, it's still making me think how I'm probably not going to hit those shots post nerf. It's just not going to happen. So again, it's going to be interesting. Overall, just going to see just the complete gameplay style of how things are going to be like now. But yeah, definitely at least we're able to cap that and hold them off again from them pushing back over here from D. Unfortunately, we're still a little bit behind from where they're capping, and always kind of, you know, straggling just a little bit behind from being able to completely control the game. So they were able to stay somewhat relevant in the game, but for the most part we were able to kind of hold control of it, which is definitely helpful. We're able to get off the beach very early on and start capping territories, and you're not kind of stuck at the very beginning point just being, you know, demolished over there, you know, where the beach is at and the home spawn is at. So definitely a big deal on this map, I think, to get a really good head start. Now, what I'm always focusing on is always trying to get in those attack boats as quick as I can, even though sometimes there are some like rendering issues that happens where it takes a little bit longer for those boats to pop up on the actual you know, map. But you know, the moment they pop up, I mean, I want to jump on those boats as quick as I can and start pushing my way down, usually towards the F is what I've been doing. I still haven't changed that strat from very early on, right when I started playing this map in the base game, as I usually have enough time to cap F and distract them, and then roll over by E and quickly pick up the Infiltrator Elite class. So there you see me dropping the spawn beacon by the Flame Trooper Elite class, so hopefully that will give my teammate something when he pops in on that spawn. But gonna try to just focus back down here towards the A and B and kind of just leave F and G. They did a good job continuously spawning probably down by the boats and challenging F, as that basically I think helped them keep them somewhat in the game from us not completely capping them and taking complete control. So definitely solid job on their part. But gonna try to do some damage over here by A. I think I'm gonna have like a scout class that are probably gonna jump off from the top of the tower. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the same guy I shot earlier. But fortunately for me, my health was already pretty high, so I was gonna be in good shape right there. Now, having a little bit of a hard time finishing off that enemy player, so I'm gonna roll up over here, drop the spawn beacon, and hope my health regenerates around the exact same time his does, because I'm sure he's gonna try flanking me from behind, and my teammates on B, and like I said earlier, they're gonna be spawning right over there towards my left. So I'm gonna lay down a flare. Hopefully that will deter them a little bit from wanting to push up here, and I can hopefully get my health all the way up. I think I'm just gonna shot from behind here in a little bit. Yeah, I'm able to finish off that player, but they're gonna put a couple shots over here on my back, which is gonna weaken me a little bit. and then you're gonna end up seeing my second death in the game. So again, it's what I talked about before with this elite class. I mean, if you get you know, rushed by a bunch of enemy players, and you might, you know, finish off that first kill initially with a Martini grenade launcher, but if you're immediately then attacked again and you have to pull out your double barrel shotgun, that your double barrel shotgun, in my opinion, is not always going to be a one-hit kill, and sometimes it's going to take 2 shots or even more than that. So you're going to see that show up right here, and that's going to be my second death in the game. So just kind of how it is, and what I've always kind of known about this class. I've always been kind of wary of bringing out the double barrel shotgun, but it is what it is. So again, feel free to let me know down below what you guys are feeling about in regards to this second half of the DLC, what you're hyped about, and what you're looking forward to experiencing the most when it comes to these new maps. Because I tell you what, it's definitely going to be exciting. It's happy to see everything was Turning Tides fully coming full circle. And again, I'm looking forward to this and can't wait, really. I wish it would have came out during the weekend, but that's it for you guys today, though. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. My name's Livin, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.